All right, man. Let's get into this, man. So let's talk about Tory Lanez situation, man. So, have you guys heard the update about the situation at all?
Yeah, I recently heard that you got poked up a little bit.
Okay. What about you, Mo? Have you heard about it?
I just heard about he got stabbed. I ain't hear about nothing. I heard about a bodyguard say he heard something from somebody else.
Okay, let's see.
Excuse me.
Some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory in Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed in the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. The passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Ms. Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that, anybody who's there, the DNA is taken. Another irregularity. Why, at Ms. Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member, record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted.
All right. So, I forget the person that was talking on the mic's name, but essentially he said that Tory's prints were not on the gun that was fired at Megan Thee Stallion, Megan the male horse. Be Humble said Tory alluded to it on the jailhouse phone. He said too much on the phone, so guy coming out now is too late. Plus, he ain't like us. He ain't a citizen. He said, Nasty Beauty said Harris had a Harris had total immunity for her to testify that may have played a part in the evidence piece. So, do you guys have any thoughts about it before I give mine?
Not really. I mean, shit. This was different news that I was hearing. I heard he got stabbed in jail.
Yeah. This came after he got stabbed up.
Oh, okay.
What he's talking about.
So yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I think they used him as a scapegoat for whatever reason. So that's pretty much all I got.
I recall us talking about this conversation. My fault. Us talking about the situation back when it first popped off. Back in, we were in the original dojo. We were in the cave when this whole situation started. And from the start, I was saying that some stuff was not adding up that would make sense to the case, because Maul, you are between the three of us, our two-way advocate, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm probably of the three of us the least knowledgeable about it, generally speaking. But I do know that from what I've had conversations about, when you fire a weapon, the gunpowder residue flies back on your hand. Flies back on you.
Yeah, it is.
So, to me, just off the strength of that information, you would only need to investigate that and put two and two together. Granted, you have to give a fair trial. You have to consider all angles of different things. But if maybe I'm a little weird, but if you would take the prints off of the weapon, match them to whomever it is that they were in the car, look at the gunpowder, examine their hand or their body, the four people in the vehicle's bodies for gunpowder residue, see who has the most, draw conclusions from that. And it's been 5 years that this trial has been going on. I was saying from the start that they didn't look at those angles. And
since the trial been going on?
Since this whole situation has been going on.
Oh, okay. Because you said trial. I'm thinking he's still on now. That nigga locked up.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't no more trial.
This whole situation.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I got you now.
Okay, my bad. I misspoke if I said trial. This whole situation's been going on for 5 years. And he's been locked up for X amount of time. I don't know when he actually was sentenced and been locked up. When I watched it was a 2-part series that was on Netflix. It was 2 episodes. One was explaining Megan's side and the other was explaining Tory's side. There was a particular video of, when Megan got out of the car. You could see that her foot was bleeding. You can see, because you could see in the video the puddles that she was leaving behind her while she was walking. Maybe I'm weird, but if anybody fires a weapon inside of a car and the car is not moving, I'm getting out of the car. Am I off on that?
Not off, but like Jerry, they say, and I say too, we all say what we would have did until you're in that situation. You don't know what you really would do.
But in any situation, people are out in public and somebody fires a gun. People start moving. Don't know where it came from. They just see where the crowd is going.
Not nowadays. They trying to video shoot it, record it. They ain't moving out. They ain't built like they used to be. But I understand where you come from. I get your sentiment.
I don't understand. I haven't seen yet in all the information that's been going on with this case that would specifically say Tory did it. Yes, to what Be Humble was saying, he did that voice message when he was in jail. He's talking about, man, I shouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have did that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have did that. I should know better and all that stuff. It sounds incriminating, yes, but that was not a confession. He did not say anything to the effect of, I shot her. I shouldn't have shot her. I shouldn't have had the gun. He didn't say nothing about that. It was just an apology the whole time. And again, like the guy was saying in the video, why does she qualify for full immunity? I don't understand it. And that's a genuine question. Why does she get full immunity?
Well, why would you apologize for something you ain't do though, too?
But I'm saying it's ambiguous. We don't know what he was apologizing for.
You know what I look at though, bro? As more of the internet keep going on and on and on. That's why I don't like to really come to conclusions about things yet. I want to let them play out like Jerry Day say. It's because once you got your mind made up, I don't give a fuck when a motherfucker come out and say they did what they did. You still got your mind made up on what happens and how you look at it. You very rarely kind of change your mind about the whole prospect of this. When people say Tory did, when people say that Tory did not do this, they stuck to that no matter what. The people that say he did do it stuck to that no matter what. It don't matter what evidence come out. He can probably come out and say it himself that I did it. People are still going to believe, no, you ain't do it, bro. You was coerced. You can still believe what you want to believe regardless. It don't matter. And that's why I try not to be on the internet as much right now, is because we all like that though too. And I'm talking about me included. That's why I try to leave stuff alone and try to stay in the middle until you really come with all the evidence. Because once you on that side, you stay on that side. Even if people say and give you all the evidence to it, you still stay on that side. It don't matter. And that's why I say I really don't know. We wasn't there. So we can go by the evidence and the nigga in jail or whatnot like that. Do I still believe he do it? I really don't know. Do I do? It's a lot of fishy things going on? Yes, it is. It's a lot of fishy shit going on. With the immunity thing that you just said, the way Megan told the two different stories, where she told today, Gayle King, and then she told another story somewhere else. Yeah, it's a lot of fishy stuff going around. But when you first come out and you make your mind up, you're going to stay on that side no matter what. That's just what the internet do to you. It's very rarely that people change their mind and be like, you know what, that was fucked up, I was wrong, this, that, and third, go over here. Or same thing about over here. When you got your mind made up, much as conspiracy theories and much motherfucking YouTube investigators is out here, nigga, they gonna change your mind every time. Just my thoughts.
J-Day, were you about to say something?
Megan Thee Stallion, she was with Rock Nation or dealing with them at the time, right?
As far as I know, I believe so.
Yeah, I think she was with them.
So Jay-Z got this line, came out years ago, and, you probably heard it before, even before him. It's just, believe half of what you see and none of what you hear, right? So it's basically that. Like, I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with this, or, but to me it was just, directing people to some more nonsense. And, that's unfortunate that Tory Lanez got caught up in this, but, he wanted to be an entertainer, and, that's kind of how the game go.
Let's see. Humble, Tory looted. Nasty Beauty said Harris had total immunity for her to testify. The man played okay. Nasty Beauty said they were asking for Governor Newsom for a pardon as well. Be Humble. Next few are from Be Humble. Did they say why he was stabbed? Not that I've heard so far. There's only been speculation about that. So Tory Lanez came out. The speculation that I'm hearing is Tory Lanez came out with a new album, and in the album, if I'm not mistaken, and I might be butchering the story, but in the album he said he's in jail, but he might get off or he might get out, and
that's why he got poked up.
Poke. Because of some behind the scenes stuff. Because there was he was on IG Live a long time ago. And I might be able to find, because I saw somebody that posted the video about it. But he was talking about how he revolutionized how people make money in the music industry.
Oh, the NFT shit.
Yeah. So he basically essentially cut out the middleman for the music industry, so the music can go direct to from artist to consumer, as opposed to having to go through big name record labels.
I can see that being the reason why he being sabotaged. So hey man, good luck to him.
Be Humble said, no, Tory needs to do that time. We in an age where people don't care about victims anymore. Nasty Beauty said he was sorry for cracking both Harris and Pete at the same time. That's one thing that's one story that everybody's sticking to, as far as I'm hearing from multiple different fronts. Tory Lanez was smashing Megan Thee Stallion and Harris, what's her name? Kelsey, at the same time. And they're supposed to be friends. So Be Humble said to Nasty Beauty he was sorry for being a POS. And Nasty Beauty agreed. Be Humble said, what man pulls a gun out on a woman? I know he got poked by a Mexican. Yes, it was a Mexican man who was serving a life sentence. But that's the thing. They just said that his prints were not on the gun at all. So he, according to that information, he didn't have a gun. He didn't pull out a weapon on her at all. Kelsey, according to what the guy just said, pulled out the weapon and aimed it at Megan. What were you about to say?
Oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It's a nice watch you got
Sorry
on,
about
man.
that, Tory.
Yeah, man.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it is a nice watch, man. That's hot,
Yeah.
man.
I was about to wear a different one. I was like, you know what? It's been a minute since I wore this one, so let's do it.
Exclusive. You know.
Yeah, I've been saying it from the start. I didn't believe the story about how it was being portrayed about Tory. It just didn't make sense. We're looking at it from a step-by-step process. We've all fired weapons before, and she said that he shot her in both of her feet.
Oh, she got shot in both feet?
That's what she said.
I thought it was only one foot.
And
She got shot in her foot or foots?
She got shot in her feces. Well, you know, one thing is if what they saying now is, you know, true, then you can only blame this. Is this L.A. County?
I'm not sure.
But you can only blame I mean, obviously it has to be some other hidden agenda to not test a person for shooting away. Like, to me, that's one-on-one. Like, you know, you shoot and see, you know, forensics or, you know, ballistics, forensics, whatever it is, to see where, you know, if there's any residue. That's the first thing you do. I mean, like, what are we doing?
And that's what I'm angry about in this case, not even from a Tory standpoint, but from an investigative standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
That's ground zero.
But it's not about
Should be anyway.
what you know, right? It's about who you know, and Tory money ain't long enough. So clearly somebody had longer money, longer paper to get him put in jail for whatever reason. He probably fucked up somebody's money. You know, and when you play with people's money, you know, the conglomerates, whatever business, you know, the industry, you want to get online, you want to start talking.
Hey,
Yo, Cultivate. Type in the chat if you're still here.
I get ever since, you know, I know Jerry Day can attest to this, since you didn't, you know, like a couple hours ago, you didn't turn 40. But like once the OGs always tell you is like, get your money, keep your mouth closed and keep it moving. You want to be all in the video, all doing all this and Diddy bopping and all this and Harlem shaking. Nigga, get your money, do what you need to do, and get the fuck on. That's what it's about. When you get older, you start realizing what the OGs was telling you about that. You don't have to be seen, you don't have to be heard. And you don't need to be going back and forth with everybody. Get your money, move the fuck out the way, and keep it moving. But you want to be all like that, you're going to get what you asking for. You thought you was gonna be really part of the industry, huh? I guess you really thought you was American, didn't you? I bet you thought you was American for real, didn't you? I bet you did, didn't you? You just been over here too long. You thought you was really one of us for real, huh? Get your money, build your mansion in Canada, where the fuck you from. Come over here, get your bread, keep your mouth closed, and keep it moving.
Be Humble said, if you're saying Kelsey did it, why would he take the rap for her? That's the question. And I'm not saying Kelsey did it. The evidence is saying Kelsey did it. Now, why would he take the rap for her? I have no idea. And that's why I fought him. You're facing jail time. I don't know why you've if you didn't do it, why wouldn't you say the name of the person that actually did? If you actually slapped the hand out of this person's hand, why didn't you say that in your testimony or whatever the case? Why haven't you named the person that actually did it?
Hey, to me, that's the smartest thing you ever done got. You done said this whole 20, 30 minutes we've been on this shit. If you didn't do it, why the fuck you taking a rap for somebody else? So evidently you did something, and you probably did what you said they said you did. Because if you didn't do it, why you didn't get on the stand and said, it wasn't me, it was that person. It was Aim Hakba, it was him. Why are you sitting there taking a rap for it? You just said a probably, like, smartest thing you done said out of everything you said. If you didn't do it, why you didn't get on the stand and say, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It was them. So evidently, what that tells you, he did something. He was the one who shot the gun. He did something.
Right. I'm not arguing that. Like, did he do something? If somebody says he did something, sure, okay, he did something. I don't know what that something may be. But as far as
you can't tell me you finna sit up here and put a rap on me, and I got kids and family to go to, and you finna tell me I didn't. No, I didn't. So evidently he did this shit. What 50 Cent said? Whatever they say a nigga did, he did that shit. Whatever your daddy say he did that shit. So we sitting over here fighting for Tory. You sitting over here with all these conspiracy theories online, talking about all this stuff. That nigga did the shit. We could get up here and fuck. We could Tory blue in the face and go with all this stuff. Evidently, if he didn't get on the stand and say he didn't did it, why are you sitting up there fighting for him about all this other stuff? The nigga did it.
His fingerprints aren't on the gun.
So why did he say he didn't do it then, Spaces?
How did he do it if his fingerprints aren't on the gun?
Okay, brother. You keep going with that conspiracy theorist fighting for a man that didn't get on the stand and try to fight for himself. It's cool.
I'm not fighting. I'm just speaking on the information as it stands.
And look, man, I'm a common sense person. Evidently, they didn't put it. Why is defense attorney didn't put him on the stand if he didn't do it? Common sense to tell you, if you didn't do it, nigga, you're getting on the stand and say you didn't do it. Your defense your attorney you got to get on the stand and say you didn't do this, bro.
That's what he been saying the whole time. He said he did.
But he didn't get on the stand and say he didn't do it though.
I'm not sure necessarily if you got to get on the stand, like your defense. It depends. I don't remember OJ getting on stand, so I don't. Because sometimes,
OJ did that shit.
All right. Well, sometimes the way that and I don't believe OJ did it. No way. I don't like the gloves didn't fit. You shit didn't fit. But what I'm saying is that sometimes it be like, because you got to know the the jurors as well, right? You want the jurors to kind of side. Obviously, this is a game here, right? It's your life. You know what I'm saying? The prize is your freedom.
Say no,
right? Yeah, OJ innocent, man. That nigga ain't do nothing. He ain't do nothing. OJ was slow, dude. You think he could get away with that shit? The fuck out of here. But I think Tory Lanez probably should have had a better defense attorney. I mean, I didn't watch the trial, but they didn't ask about like the evidence of the blowback of the gunpowder, the gun residue. We're not asking about that. We're not asking about fingerprints. So you just paying for lawyers. You was better off doing your own defense. I don't know, but there's something off about it. We kind of get it, and you get people sabotaged every day. I mean, not just people who don't have real money. Like Tory Lanez, I'm sure had some money. But we got real people out here, not to say he's not a real person, but people in real situations that are going through things and, they are accused of different things and they can't get off, and I think that's kind of the issue here. His is just really, in the spotlight, him being who he is and Megan Thee Stallion being who she is. But you have people on in a lower status who kind of go through this shit every day where they don't have the best of best lawyers. Right, and the evidence is, clear that they didn't do anything, but the jurors may see it a different way. And this is how you do have innocent people in jail, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I listened to his album, and on the album, of course, he's talking about his current situation, and he was basically talking. Well, I don't say basically, but one of the things he talked about a lot was how lawyers were trying to extort him for the case. Like they were charging him absorbent amounts of money. And then there were other lawyers that he tried to hire for the situation that basically abandoned him randomly, ghosted him. Mm-hmm. So it's not without trying.
Well, what the best thing that he could do for himself, he get 15 years?
I thought it was 10 or 15.
Okay, well the best thing he could do for himself is, if he can't come up with the money to get because you seem like you done lost the public. Right, so you lost the public. A lot of people are siding with Megan Thee Stallion. Both of y'all are really irrelevant to me. But the best thing you can do for yourself is probably get into after them stab wounds is closed up. Is go to the law library of your prison and try to help yourself. That's the only thing that you can do.
First of all, get your ass protective custody. Nigga, that's the first thing you do. And don't go back in GP. Then you go to the public liability because they get that 14 times for the turn to 82. Next time, they going to make sure they get through the job.
And that's something somebody pointed out. I was having a conversation with. They said, how you as this person as the assassin, how did you poke him 14 times and he live after that?
Because he ain't had no vital organs.
And that's the point. Like, so that's what they were saying. Did they purposefully miss vital organs? Was this a possible warning? Like, all right, now.
Nigga, 14 times they trying to kill you, bro. It ain't 14 times like nigga, I stabbed you 2 or 3. That's a warning. 14, that's not no fucking warning, Space.
Yeah, well,
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying. I'm saying I think it's on both sides, right? It's like 14. Yes, you would think after 14 that would be enough to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Well, on the flip side, you 14 times and you missed. Imagine it's aiming at a target and you shoot 14 bullets and miss every one.
he was a DEI hire. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a Puerto Rican to do that. They're gonna give you the real buck.
That nigga said said the goddamn assassination was a DI.
Yeah, he didn't do his job. Now my man is living to talk about it.
Yeah,
You know.
that's crazy.
Oh, okay. That's the beauty said if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Be Humble said they took his blood from the police station to the incident. The LAPD admitted to it on the stand. I'm not sure where you're going with that one. Now, some beauty said it's the state.
Oh, so that is LA County. Okay, LAPD did. Okay, wow. Yeah, well, LAPD is known for corruption. I mean, there's plenty of movies, documentaries, anything you could think about. Like the Training Day itself, the movie was based on the Rampart scandal, which was actually Alonzo, which is Denzel Washington's character, was based on a group of people. So he wasn't just the only person, but Alonzo wasn't. It was just a group of people. LA County and LA Sheriff's Department is known to just be like some of the worst. I mean, we're from Chicago, so we know we have CPD as being the word, but LA County, from what I hear, is just, oh my goodness, just a piece of work.
Nesby said it's the state that had brought the charges against Tory, not Megan. It's Daystar versus the state of California.
Right.
Interesting. That says a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Because
It's like, why would you go forward with somebody? But she never said he didn't shoot her, right?
No, she said that this mother effer shot me.
Right. So I guess there you go.
Okay. Oh man. You don't know how when I saw this I was like, oh, can't wait till Sunday so we could talk about this. All right, so this is something J. Day sent us.